If the life you're living has more drama than a soap opera, and you need somebody who will really, really keep it real, not somebody who's gonna lie to you, sugarcoat it, too scared to hurt your feelings, somebody who will really tell it to you straight up, no chaser. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm your girl, the Bronze Goddess, and this is Strawberry Letter. Let's go get 'em. Please help me. I need some guidance. Back in 2006, I was involved in a domestic relationship where I was beaten, cussed out, and emotionally abused, and too stupid to leave. First of all, you wasn't stupid, but I'm going to keep on going because you wasn't stupid. Well, I got pregnant, and I then realized I had to move on with my life because I was not going to bring a baby into the world in an abusive situation. I was too far along to have an abortion, so I had to keep the baby. It was the best decision I ever made. Love my baby. Well, when I was only 4 months pregnant, I met a man of the cloth who took care of me and was there for me hand and foot during my pregnancy. He has been a true dream come true. To try and condense this, the abuser got married and the wife began to contact me in reference to the child. Once she found out I filed child support on him to get assistance for daycare. They require that where I live. She was stating things like I was going to kill my baby and split my wig if she ever saw me. Well, I was not concerned with her running up on me, but I definitely did not take lightly to the threats towards my child. I know that's right. Excuse me. I know that's right. Okay, it's now 4 years later, and my husband, yes, my husband and I are now living happily and expecting a new baby very soon. And the abuser sent me a message on a social network saying he wants to meet my 4-year-old. Ooh. Well, my husband is the only daddy my baby has ever known. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to let him into his life now and confuse my child, or do I protect him and keep the confusion away? Please, any advice you can give would be greatly appreciated. She also goes on to say that she is now an advocate for abused women. And I think that's awesome, how you turn a negative into a positive and how you use your story to help others. Kudos to that, okay? Good for you. Ooh, this is a very, very tough one, you guys. I'm definitely going to need you guys to weigh in on this one because my opinion may definitely differ from yours. From reading the letter, he hasn't really played an active role. So your child is 4 years old. He's never played a part. Now all of a sudden he wants to come into the scene. Where were you? He don't really get a vote. I mean, this one, it's kind of confusing, and it's definitely really different. I definitely suggest you always have to pray about these. Before you ask BG, ask GOD, okay? Anywho, y'all want to make that clear. Before you ask BG, ask GOD, okay? He's the only guarantee that things are going to be good, all right? This is just my opinion. First of all, he didn't even want to pay child support. When you don't pay, and I don't know if he has or not, but it's just my opinion. If you don't pay child support, especially if you don't pay child support, you don't get any say. I could do whatever I want because you're not helping me in any way. You don't see the child. You're not helping me raise this child. You're not helping financially. If you don't have nothing to do with this child, you don't have nothing to say about this child as far as I'm concerned. You don't just come in like, well, I'm the child's father. Then you got to act like a father. And if he never acted like a father, then you get no say. As far as I'm concerned, you get as much say as a random dude off the street. Okay? You and your husband, first of all, shouts out to him. Well, y'all, the Lord really knows how to work it out. It's just a random side note. See, ladies? So she met somebody when she was 4 months pregnant and she got somebody. I don't know why these women always settling things. The man ain't gonna want you. You ain't never gonna find love. There's plenty of men out there who will see you as a treasure and don't care if you was abused. Don't care if you currently pregnant. Don't care if you have, like the last letter I had, the girl had herpes. Some men, if they love you, they love all of you and they'll take all of that. Okay? And that's a random side note. My point. Let me gather it all and rein it in. What's my point? I think the decision actually should be between you and your husband. You and your husband more than you and the baby father. Because he hasn't played a role. The man who you're married to, that's the only father that he knows. So I think you and your husband should discuss it. Not necessarily me. You and your husband, especially since the fact that he's a man of the clock. Shouts out to him. You guys need to pray about it and decide what's best for your family. Because the three of you are a family. The three of you and the baby on the way. You guys already are a family. Do you want to introduce another dynamic to it? You got some woman threatening to hurt the child. You think if somebody gonna threaten to hurt my baby, I'm gonna let my child go stay with them? You crazy? No, ma'am. We definitely have to pray about it. Everything would have to be on my terms. He never played an active role in the child's life, and he got the nerve to want to come out of the woodwork and have demands. You didn't earn your right to say anything. He didn't earn his right to say anything. The decision should be up to you and your husband. You and your husband need to discuss it. Your husband is the father. Now, he donated some of his DNA but your husband is the baby's father. Your husband has been there before the child was even born. Now that's the daddy. Don't get caught up in genetics. That's the daddy. You want to know what's going on between you and the son and how you should handle the situation? Ask the child's father. Ask his real daddy. The daddy who's always been there for him. The one who tucks him in at night and wipes his tears away and kisses the boo-boos and takes him to the doctor. That's the daddy. Ask the daddy how he feels. Don't negate his say in it. It's not between you and the other guy. It's between you and your husband. You guys are the mom and father of this child. Ask him how he feels. And you two pray about it together and say, Lord, what would you have us to do? Because if he don't want to agree to the terms that you guys have, I say no. That's my opinion. I say no. Now, it's different if he's, you did say you were going to get the whole child support thing. If he's paying child support, then legally he may have certain rights. But if it's up to you and if it was in my opinion, no. My opinion would be no. No, unless you're willing to play an active role and do everything that a father does. All of a sudden you turn over a new leaf, and even then it had to be under my terms, and it had to be under my terms, because that woman over there already threatened your child, and he should understand. No, we can meet. You can meet him if you want to, if you all decide that, but it has to be at our house, or it has to be supervised visits, and she cannot be there. I would get all that legally. I would get it all legally arranged where she couldn't be there because of the fact that she's already made threats against your child. It would have to only be him, and that's how it would be. But it's on your terms. The ball is in your court. You're the only one who has been there every single day. You're the only one who the child has known. You and your current husband. You guys make a decision as a family, okay? That's my advice. My advice is to pray about it and ask your husband how he feels about some other man stepping into his son's life. Donating DNA doesn't make you a father. Being a father makes you a father. And he sounds like he is. That's the child's daddy. You ask the daddy how he feels about it. And if he says no and you pray about it and that's what you feel, then it is what it is. And I'm sure when your child gets older, your child may ask you, why he wasn't in your life. Obviously, the child is way too young to explain that to him. But I'm sure once he gets older, he'll understand. Your father and I had some issues. Your father's a changed man now, but back in the day, your father and I had some physical. I would tell him, if it was me, once the child got older, way older, 16 to 18, something like that, I would tell him, it's not like I didn't mean to do this. I didn't want to keep you from your father, but your father put his hands on me. And your father physically abused me, and that wasn't right. Now, your father's a changed man, if he would be by then. Your father's a changed man, but at the time, that's what he did. And I did everything I could to keep you safe. I didn't want to keep you from your father, but I did everything I could to keep you safe. And I'm sure your son would understand. If it's a son, I believe it's a son. Your son would understand. But your son would also appreciate that you found somebody better. You made better decisions as time went on. Your son will see that you became an advocate for abused women. But I think he'll have certain legal rights if he starts paying child support. But if he doesn't pay child support, he don't have, as far as I'm concerned, you can't tell me nothing. You don't have a say. Your voice is the same as a random dude, Joe Schmo off the street. That's how much you can tell me about what to do with my son. All right? Anyway, that's my advice. Pray about it. All right? And ask your husband. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time. Little divas and dudes. Deuces.